Welcome to Currents Up Close. My name is Kim Manning and I'll be your host for today's program. We have a really fun program planned today talking about a fun event, Artapalooza. I've got a great panelist of guests. Kim Bear is the coordinator for Community Main Street. Nina Hamer, you're chairing the Artapalooza committee this year. Thank you for chairing. And Heather Skeens, you are our cultural supervisor for the city. Thank you for joining us today and telling us about Artapalooza.
Thank you.
Yes, well, let's get it out there in the beginning. The date, when, and where will this event take place?
Artapalooza is Saturday, September 7th from 9 to 4 on Main Street in the Cedar Falls downtown district between the 100 block and 400 block.
Okay, so you close down the streets then?
Of course.
Okay, sounds like fun. How many years has this been going on?
This is year 14 for this event.
Wow, that's a lot of years. Do you have a set date, or do you move it around?
Yep.
How do you determine?
It's always the Saturday after Labor Day.
So people can kind of mark their calendars for forward years then, right?
And it also always coincides with Iowa State, but it's a late game this year, so we're good.
So there's time for everything that day,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Well, as we said, it's the 14th year. What keeps this event going? What's special about it?
I think it's just the whole day and everything that it encompasses, with the artists lining the streets and all of the retailers and merchants and restaurants open, and we do kids activities and entertainment all day long. The hospitality that we provide for the artists, and I think it's this perfect storm of we've had great weather, knock on wood. It's just wonderful to see the community come out and support the event and the artists and everybody downtown. So it's really a day to look forward to, and it's one of my favorites, just to wander around downtown with all the people. So
It almost feels like a final hurrah for the summer season to me when I stroll the streets. I don't know
that's
about you
true.
guys. And you have had beautiful weather over the years. I hope it
I
continues.
know. I hate to
Yeah.
even say it because then we might jinx it. But yeah, we've had good weather with the exception of some wind, that can affect some of the booths, but they're made aware that they need to secure their items so that if the wind does barrel down, then they're ready for that. So.
Yeah. Well, and you've recognized that hospitality and the small details are a big part of it, but the artists are the major part.
Right.
So tell us about that process. How do you select them?
Yes, so the artist application, we actually, as a committee, go over the artist application kind of after Artapalooza is over. We look at it again in January, and then it actually goes live in January. So artists are able to apply starting January. The deadline is May 15th, so there's quite a bit of time. We always have artists that apply right away as soon as it comes out. We typically email the previous artist just so that they can get a jump on it. They submit their application and then 3 pictures of their artwork. And then we have a blind jury each year that then goes through all of those applications with all those pictures, and they pick out what they deem as being the artist that should be in the show. So the jurors do change from year to year, so then the artist makeup does change from year to year as well. So it's nice to see a different makeup. We always have old artists that have been here for years and years, and people expect to see them at the show, and then we have new ones that apply each year, and they're fun and different to be in the show as well.
Wow, that's a lot of detail work to get to where you're at.
Yes, for sure.
And you said a blind jury, so they don't know who the artist is as they're going through the works?
Correct. So as they see the
samples?
pictures, to them they're just pictures. So we ask that the pictures come unmarked so that there's no indication of who the artist is. And if they do have marks on them, I take them off.
Okay. How many will you have this year?
45.
Is that pretty consistent?
Yes,
year to
we're
year?
actually a little over what we were last year. So that is a nice little bit of a jump from last year with the applications. But it is pretty consistent with like 11 to 15 per block. So it just kind of depends.
Just a nice number to work with.
Yep.
But you could do more if you wanted to? Or
Yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe we should go through the lineup and talk about who's going to be here this year.
Yeah, so we have 11 new artists this year who have never been a part of the show, and then 34 returners. So you'll see on the screen that they have they already went through the blocks of artists. So we set them up in the blocks from the 100, 200, and 300 blocks. And we try to make it a good mix of different mediums so that all the mediums are covered per block. So you're not going to run into, 4 jewelers in a row and then 4 painters. It's a really good mix of ceramics and wood, mixed media, jewelry, as I mentioned, painting, printing. We have 1 printer and 1 drawer this year. So it's just a really good mix of artists from year to year. And this year will be great as well.
Great. So is it a judged show? How does that part of it work?
It is a judge show. We typically have 2 judges and we award 2 bests of show. The judges start walking the street about 9 a.m., going through the booths, talking to the artists, and then they deliberate and choose their 2 best of show, which are usually awarded before 11 a.m.
Okay, so is there a prize that comes with that, or just the honor of being?
They get a really great medal designed by Katie from Hatchlings and Hens, who will be on the show later.
Oh, nice, nice.
So for the last couple of years, she's made their award. So it's cool to have somebody from downtown who does that for us. So.
Do we have our judges selected for this year yet, or is that yet to come maybe?
We're still working on it.
Okay, sure, yeah. Well, so we talked about the hospitality that you offer the artists to encourage them to want to come. Maybe let's talk about what all you guys do for them.
It's a really early day, so we actually set it up so that the artists in the middle of the block show up the earliest to set up. They need to be set up and ready to sell by 9 a.m. We work very hard to make sure that they have breakfast and water and lunch and a snack. The way we do that is we have a captain of each block, and you'll see somebody in an Artapalooza shirt running around to make sure that they have everything they need. They also are available to give the artists breaks if they need it, if they don't have somebody else to watch their booth while they step away for a moment. But the artists really love it, and they comment on it every year.
Great. Well, I have to say, I hear that time and time again among other events that our city provides. We have a great reputation for being very welcoming and hospitable. So you guys are carrying on the tradition and actually adding to it. That's great.
I think some of the artists too are surprised, like if they're new to the show, they don't realize, we get lunch and breakfast. And so it's nice to be able to provide that for them, and it's one less thing they have to worry or bring with them for the day.
Kind of folks we are.
That's right.
And all of the meals and snacks do come from downtown vendors now.
Oh, that's a great support system too, yes.
It's fantastic, and that way if somebody sees someone eating something, they can say, oh, it came from
Sure.
one of the sponsors. So.
Makes great sense. Heather, I know that you worked on helping Cedar Falls be recertified as a, what is it? I always say it wrong. The
Cultural and Entertainment District.
Cultural and Entertainment District.
Yeah.
Well, and that's a great honor bestowed by the state of Iowa.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I think we are only one of 8 cultural and entertainment districts in the state. So it's really a big deal. It's really great that we have that honor here in Cedar Falls. And I think it really reflects a lot of the hard work of Community Main Street and all the merchants and the restaurants and all the people who put on the arts and cultural activities down there.
Well, it sounds like it's kind of interwoven. Maybe events like this helped make that occur.
For sure. I think I was talking with a group of people about Cedar Falls not too long ago, and they were talking about how the identity of Cedar Falls is kind of a city of festivals. We do a lot of festivals, a lot of which occur in downtown, in the downtown district. So I think that designation really helps bolster all those activities and really make Cedar Falls a place people like to live and growing the community. So it's a great designation for us.
Yeah, I think we're kind of known for our arts and culture as well,
Yeah.
really. Well, tell me about, I've been hearing about this art cart thing.
Yeah.
Tell me how that works.
So the Hearst Center is doing something new this year. In addition to kind of what everybody's used to having us do the face painting and the kids' activities and some kind of family-oriented things at our booth, which we're still doing this year, we wanted to kind of get out on the street and do something a little different. And there are a lot of other communities that are using art carts to kind of do like mobile art making activities at festivals or in their libraries or their schools. So for the first year now, we'll have our mobile art cart, which a volunteer put together for us. And we will have an artist pushing the cart up and down the street during Artapalooza, working with people to create sun prints or cyanotypes. So we're kind of excited about that, something new that we're doing this year.
How fun.
Yeah.
So just be on the lookout for the cart. It'll just be roaming around.
We'll just be going up and down the street with it, yeah. And all the activities are free, and we just were trying to engage with a variety of people. We usually do kind of more kids activities, so this is something that adults can participate in, and it should be fun.
Great. Do you have other plans for the art cart beyond this?
Not tentative plans. We want
Uh-huh.
to use it when we go out to farmers markets and other community events, and we can take it into the schools if we wanted to. So yeah, we're excited to have that now as part of our outreach program.
Sure, great. Well, it sounds like you and the rest of the committee have put a lot of hard work into making this a great event, so we thank you for that. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back to talk about other aspects of this festival in a bit.
Good job. Good
You
work.
are so good at this.
Underage drinking comes at a cost. What gets crushed when you drink?
Welcome back to Currents Up Close. If you're just joining us, we're talking about the Artapalooza event today, and we've got some great guests. We've been joined by Katie Bierski. I always say that wrong, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Bierke.
Bierke. We practiced
It's a hard
too.
one.
That's a great name. Thank you for joining us. And also Nina Hamer and Kim Bear are here to talk about Artapalooza and all of the efforts that you guys are making to make this a great event for us. Again, the event happens. Kim, tell us the date and the times, please.
September 7th from 9 to 4.
Okay, perfect. Get that on your calendars, viewers. In the first half, we talked about all the artists and the welcoming that we do for them. There's a lot more going on besides just the artwork. Tell us about the entertainment you have planned for the day.
Well, actually, we've got the returners are the puppet show, which everybody loved last year. Last year was the first year for that. The Cedar Falls Library brings their puppets down and just puts on a great show. We've got the jazz band, we've got the Cedar Falls High School band. These are all favorites. And then we've got a bunch of new artists at 4th and Main as well. In the 100 block, we have a lot of acoustical artists. A couple favorites are Travis Wilson and Crystal Weber, but of course everybody down there is fantastic. So music throughout the street.
So covering artistic experience from all angles.
Correct.
And another angle is the children.
Yep.
Tell us what we've got planned for children's activities.
We've got our usual where we've got the Legos all set out in the 200 block, correct? Mm-hmm. And then we've got the Symphony Petting Zoo. And this year we've got a new one. We've got Kinder Music coming in the afternoon to kind of demo what they do.
Sure.
So, and then our local shops, some of them have crafts outside for people to do as well.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Katie, you've got some plans for the day.
Yeah, I sure do. I've participated the last 4 years as a downtown business owner offering a free children's craft. And in the past, some of the things we've done are dream catchers. We've done some painting. And last year we made some really fun keychains for kids to put on their backpacks. This year we're going to be making some washer necklaces. So they're just going to take an ordinary washer and use some nail polish to paint on the washer, and then they can turn it into a necklace and take that with them for the day. So also a free craft. There's no charge at all for that.
Oh, nice.
Fantastic.
So where do the children need to go to look for that?
We are always set up in the 100 block, kind of right in front of where the landmark and the theater, kind of in that area on that side of the street, and we'll be in that same area again this year.
Uh-huh. It sounds like there'll be activities sprinkled throughout the district, though, correct?
Correct.
Great, great. Well, earlier in the show, we talked about the hospitality that we provide for artists and such. What can the general public expect when they come out for the festival?
I think it's just all of the activities. So like Nina mentioned, in the 100 block in front of Cup of Joe, we have music, and then you can walk through the artists, and there's, Katie will have a kids activity. And then we have the Legos in the 200 block, as well as the Hearst Center and the Symphony, the Waterloo Symphony petting zoo. So if you're not familiar with that, they bring their instruments so the kids can test them out. So if you don't want your children to play instruments in the future, I wouldn't suggest going to this booth. But it's a great opportunity for them to touch and feel, a violin or a trumpet, something that they haven't been able to do in the past. So that's a cool opportunity for the kids there. And then, as Heather mentioned earlier in the show, then we'll do face painting. They always do a great job with their kids' crafts and their face painting, and that they sit right in front of Jiva there in the 200 block, and then there's more artists, and then there's more music at 4th and Main, and so there is really something for everyone, whether it be the artists, the entertainment, or the kids' activities. It's just a great day to be downtown and to experience Artapalooza, so lots
I'm always
to do.
blown away by how many children do come too, which I think is fantastic. I think in the past we've done at least 250, sometimes as many as 300 to 400 crafts. The first year I had no idea what to expect and didn't bring enough materials and ran out probably halfway through the day. So I think that's great that so many families bring their kids down to experience it.
That's impressive.
And I think sometimes there's that perception that is, it's an art show, maybe we shouldn't take the kids. That is definitely not Artapalooza. This is a family-friendly event where we want the children to come and enjoy, and just everybody. It's a family day.
I'm glad you brought that up, because it really is kind of a more relaxed environment than you might think. And actually, I've found that a lot of the artwork is affordable and attainable to folks.
Yep, absolutely, I agree.
That I have noticed.
Yep. I think my favorite was last year we had a brand new artist. It was his first ever show that he'd ever done. He's retired something, can't remember, but his whole family came. They were working in the booth, and they all got t-shirts made because it was his first ever show. So it's cool to see things like that, this older gentleman emerged as an artist later in years, and he could be a part of the show, and his family was there to support him and stuff. So it really is just a family-friendly show.
Great.
So.
Well, Katie, you're a merchant in the downtown district. Tell us, what do you think is like the biggest, the best part of Community Main Street doing events like this?
Well, I think it gives us as businesses a chance to give back to the community. So as a business owner, small business owner, I truly appreciate, my customers that come in to see me. It's what lets me continue to do my business. It's all about the customers, and for me to have a way to kind of give back to the community and thank them for always supporting my small business. So I think it's a great chance for me to give back and offer a free children's activity for the day.
Sure, great, yeah. And Nina, you are chairing the event this year. Thank you for that. That sounds like a big job. And you've been doing it for a few years now, right?
I guess I have.
How long have you been involved?
I'm not even sure how long I've been involved.
Yeah.
I initially reached out because I've always loved the event. I think it's one of my favorite things. So why wouldn't I want to be a part of it and use my talents and skills to make it better? And it's evolved every year. And we're always looking for volunteers. If anybody wanted to get involved, we would love to have you. We actually start planning pretty much around May is when the committee starts to meet.
Mm-hmm.
And then, obviously everything's done by September 8th this year. But I believe that if you want to live in a great community, you have to use your skills and talents to help make it great.
Absolutely.
Again, giving back.
Yep.
Yep. So if someone wants to volunteer and become involved, how would they do that?
You can call Community Main Street, you can go onto the website, you can, reach out to me. It all works.
Sure, sure. Well, we've talked about a full day of activities. How does all this become possible? I suppose you probably have some pretty good sponsors to make it all happen, right?
Yes, so we definitely have, this year ISG is a new sponsor for us. They're an architecture firm. And we had one of our committee members happens to work there, and he's done great. He actually did our logo, the new logo this year, so that was awesome. I love anyone who's willing to help with graphics or anything like that. So we acquired him at the draft day that happened in January, so that was awesome. Something that he could do a little bit extra and a little bit different than what he does at work. So ISG is our sponsor as well as Cedar Falls Tourism. They are a great supporter. You are a great supporter, and we so appreciate everything you guys do for the event every year. And then we have a committee that is willing to, make the phone calls to set up the food and to help with the setup in the morning. We typically are here by 5:30 the day of the event, and the artists start rolling in at 6. So it's not the longest day that we work, but it is definitely a long day. But the artists are always ready to go, and I look forward to seeing so many of them each year that come back. So it's just a great event. We couldn't do it without our sponsors and without our volunteers to make it all happen.
So again, a schedule of events can be found on the website.
Yep, so go to communitymainstreet.org and you should find all the information, or our Facebook page at Cedar Falls Downtown District has the information as well.
Oh, okay. So I suppose if there are weather issues, the Facebook might be the place to look for that?
Yep, that would
For
be the first
information.
place to go. Yes.
Okay, great.
But there won't be any because we ordered nice
No.
weather.
Keep knocking.
Well, you're in charge of that, right?
Yes, right. Keep that weather in my back pocket for a nice day.
Well, is there anything else that you'd like to add to make the viewers aware of? It's always a great day. I know everybody kind of looks forward to it.
Yep, we just want everybody to come down and enjoy the day with us, and we look forward to seeing them on the 7th, if not before.
Okay. Well, thank you for your efforts to make a great day for us. Again, the 14th annual. That's a tribute to what you guys are doing. Saturday, September 7th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Check out communitymainstreet.org for additional information. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you, viewers, for watching, and be sure to come out and join the Artapalooza.